Sam, it's kind of a, yeah, I guess a cliche that when one person hits, you get a couple, it just starts piling up. What is playing in an inning like that seventh inning like?
I mean, it's awesome. I mean, it's kind of like everyone's getting a piece. I think Save said it. We empty the bench pretty much every time we get a chance. I mean, because we have 15, 16 guys who can all hit and hit really well. I think there's, like I said, 15 guys on this team that could start at any other Big 12 school, any other team in the country, really. So it's awesome. Everyone gets a chance. Everyone gets to show what they can do.
Skylar, obviously, there's been a lot of competition for that point, but a couple of guys that were regulars last year that have become backups this year and but still filling roles. How has the team adjusted to that, and how do you keep building that as a positive?
I mean, I wouldn't even consider them as backups because, you know, any day you could be in the starting lineup. And I feel like 1 through 16, we all can play wherever and whenever.
One couple of questions?
Skylar, you've been on an absolute tear so far this year. I mean, you're hitting 447. What have you done differently this year than in previous years that you've been here?
Just trying to have fun, just sticking to my approach at the plate and just having fun playing the game. Not trying to force anything and let the game come to me.
It's had a lot of carryover from last year's team, obviously in style of play, things like that, but are there any differences with Steve that stand out with you all, and not necessarily better, but just different that you all have seen?
Not really. I mean, Sage was coaching with Mays for, I mean, he probably learned everything he knows from Mays and carried a lot of things over. Culture's the same. The way we work, everything's the same, really. So, me personally, I don't notice a huge difference. I mean, lineup changes are a lot more, I'd say, this year, but I think that's probably just because we have 15 dudes who can all play.
I know when we asked you last year about what your favorite position was, might not have been what you're playing right now, but is that the best place mostly you feel like that you can help this team the most?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm loving second base. Aside from catching, I'm getting the ball in my hands a lot more, and I think that's a way that I can really help this team. I think my baseball IQ is pretty good, so it gives us a good chance.
Skylar, if there's one difference, this year's team maybe not running quite as much. Is that just out of necessity, just because you've been hitting the ball as well as probably any team has here recently?
Yeah, I think we just kind of let our bats work for us and not try to do too much on the bases. We might steal a little bit early in the game, but I feel like as a whole, like we can hit and get guys over.
For both of you, you guys have both really good walk-up songs. I mean, what was the kind of thought process going into that before the season started?
So mine, last year, I waited until the last home series and I changed it to a bar song. And the crowd was kind of getting into it and it got me going. So I went back with it this year.
Yeah, Gimme, Gimme, Gimme is kind of like my guilty pleasure song, I guess. So I just I went with it. It seems to be a crowd pleaser, so yeah, I go with it. And Play That Funky Music, that was my sister's idea. My sister and my mom and my dad too, actually, they all love trying to give me some input on my walk-up songs, and my sister came up with a really good one.
Anything else? All right, we're good. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.